I had mentioned I got a couple comic books this week at
Mhm.
the comic shop. I also pre-ordered some comics from this thing called the Rippaverse. It's
Mhm.
a new comic starting with graphic novel called Isom. That's the main character. It's a thing that has been kind of advertised. I shouldn't say advertised. It's been talked about for a long time. People waiting
Mhm.
for the reveal, what this is going to be or whatever. It's supposed to be. There's lots of alternative indie comics out there. This was going to be a big one. And so they finally on Monday. I felt really bad. I was on a tour of a beautiful cemetery in
Mhm.
Savannah, and the pre-order campaign was going live like when we're have this tour. And so I'm like, I don't know how fast this stuff is going to sell out or whatever. So I'm sitting there trying to order order stuff on my phone, whatever. So I felt bad. I felt very rude. But once I got things done, I was very attentive the rest of the tour. So,
Your tour
but
guide's
anyways,
listening.
yeah, right,
You son of a bitch.
yeah, yeah. I didn't hand out any cards to the podcast to anyone. So yeah. But anyways, the campaign has hit a big milestone just this evening. It's already since launching Monday to now, it's raised $2 million.
Mhm.
So it's been a success thus far,
Yeah.
and the books start shipping in July, or sorry, in August. So I'm excited to read a new superhero comic.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
transition.
No, I was just gonna say I watched the YouTube,
Oh yeah.
kind of advertisement for the Rippaverse, and I was just thinking like I really like the concept of it. Like uh the kind of investment in the rejuvenation of American comics and like bringing things back to life and like this commitment to hey we have a comic if things deviate it's going to be like very small. We'll explain the hell out of it. We won't just
Right.
like retcon for fun. Um, so I like everything that that they were talking about, and I thought that you know it's a great way to address I think a lot of the issues that people have been talking about with American comics right now.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if just looking at this more basic thing, some of the biggest movies, entertainment properties now are comic book based movies. Even the
Hmm.
show we're going to talk about today, The Boys, is comic book
Right.
based. They're really, it's very weird that there seems to be no space or very little space in pop culture for a thriving American comic book industry
Hmm.
when the biggest properties are from comic books. It's
Hmm.
just weird correlation there.
Hmm.
And there's definitely a myriad of reasons for that. And so I
Hmm.
think someone that is starting their own thing from the ground up, that's really invested and cares about it, is trying to give their audience what they want. I think it's good. I think we're going to keep seeing more and more of this pop up,
Hmm.
and yeah, I hope there's lots of success.
Yeah, hope it does well.
So pre-order your books.
Mhm.
Get him in. Um,
But don't while you're on a cemetery tour.
yeah, yeah. I mean, have you? So, like, for instance, you've seen most of the superhero movies, or really a lot of them.
Yeah.
Have you ever read any comic books? Has ever
Yeah.
like piqued your interest to read a few?
Um, so funnily enough, so I have read comic books usually independently of um the movies that have been out because I've actually
Hmm.
been fairly satisfied. That's the problem. I feel like I'm fairly satisfied with the movies that I care about. And so I don't feel like I need to go to the comics to get like, oh, there should be a better story for this. Do you
Sure.
know what I mean? Like when Iron Man first came out and I was just like the first Iron Man movie was just so good that I was just like I'm good. Like I don't know
Right.
that I need some more. Um but I've read things independently of, like the Marvel movies or the DC universe. I've read a lot of X-Men, probably my most read comics. Because I loved that show when I was younger.
Hmm.
But funnily enough, the recent slew of episodes from The Boys have kind of got me interested in reading the comics because Amazon, while I find this annoying sometimes, I've really enjoyed it with The Boys. They have those like little screens that pop up that tell you like kind of fun facts and trivia about the scenes that you're
Mm.
watching. And for the last couple of episodes, I'm sort of like, oh, they're paying tribute to this thing in the comics. That's really cool. Like, I'd really love to see where that comes from. So,
Sure. Yeah. And I just think there should be that. It's interesting you say that like about Iron Man and stuff. I always feel like for me, if I really love something and I can't get enough of it, then I want to search out the other things. And this seems to like you mentioned with X-Men, you love the
sure.
cartoons, so maybe that makes you read a few of the comics. And this
Yeah.
definitely applies in anime. And people are like, well, I watch the anime like that, so then I go and read the manga for it and vice versa.
Right.
Um, so it's just weird, and some of it I feel like is maybe just a lot of brought up in this campaign where do
Mhm.
you start? If you are going
Yes.
to read Iron Man, what are you going to read?
Right.
Where do
Like,
you
I would have
go?
no idea where to go.
Yeah.
Plus, like, for me, I mean, I brought up Iron Man because I love Iron Man, but also, like, spoilers, like, his end in the Marvel universe
Mm.
on the silver screen anyway, was very brutal for me, so now I'm like, "I don't know if I wanna go and have those associations again."